It's December 1989. The Iron Curtain is crumbling across Eastern Europe. Berlin has just torn down its wall. Communist regimes are falling like dominoes. But in Romania, things are about to explode in the most dramatic way possible. On a freezing winter day, in front of tens of thousands of people, and with live cameras rolling, Romania's most feared man steps onto a balcony, unaware that this will be the last speech he'll ever give. This is the story of how Nicolae Ceaușescu, Romania's brutal dictator, was overthrown, captured, and executed, and how it all played out on live TV. December 21st, 1989, Palace Square, Bucharest. Over 50,000 people have been bused, marched, or forced into the square. Many were pulled straight from schools, offices, or factories. Some have stood in near-freezing temperatures for over 5 hours. They're not here willingly. At the center of this massive, stage-managed event is Nicolae Ceaușescu, Romania's dictator for 24 years. He's ruled with an iron fist, turning the country into a police state, crushing dissent, and building a cult of personality around himself and his wife, Elena. Just days earlier, in the city of Timișoara, peaceful protests broke out when Ceaușescu tried to arrest a dissident priest. But things spiraled. The military opened fire on unarmed civilians. Bodies were buried in mass graves to hide the evidence. But word got out. The nation was boiling. Now, desperate to show strength and popular support, Ceaușescu stages this rally in Bucharest, broadcast live to the entire country. It will become his biggest mistake. As Ceaușescu steps out onto the balcony of the Central Committee building, deafening cheers erupt. But something feels wrong. Most of the crowd is standing motionless. Their faces are blank. That cheering? It's a pre-recorded audio track, blasted from giant speakers. He begins his speech like always, thanking the comrades, praising socialism. But then, a distant scream cuts through the air. Then another. It's not part of the sound system. Panic starts rippling through the crowd. Ceaușescu's face twitches. His eyes dart to the side. Live on national television, he's visibly confused. Suddenly, protesters break through the barriers. They're storming the very building he's standing on. Ceaușescu tries to continue his speech, even promising sudden wage increases, clearly desperate. But the mask is slipping. Inside, chaos erupts. His security team is rushing. His wife, Elena, is shouting. The cameraman, under strict orders to keep things under control, points the camera toward the sky. The screen goes black. Even though the regime temporarily regains control of the crowd, it's too late. The spell is broken. That night, protests spread like wildfire across Bucharest. Ceaușescu, furious, unleashes his army, tanks, and the dreaded Securite, his secret police. Protesters are gunned down in the streets. Snipers fire from rooftops. By morning, so much blood stains the pavement that water cannons are used to wash it away. But this time, something is different. Instead of intimidating the people, the violence fuels their rage. On December 22nd, workers from all over the country leave their factories en masse and head toward the capital. In a stunning twist, the army begins siding with the people. Soldiers lower their weapons. Some join the demonstrators. The people no longer fear Ceaușescu. They want justice. Inside the Central Committee building, Ceaușescu and his inner circle realize the tide has turned. Protesters are storming the building. Ceaușescu makes a desperate call. A helicopter lands on the roof. He and Elena, panicked and pale, climb aboard with a few bodyguards. They escape minutes before protesters reach the rooftop. They head for his private retreat in Snagov, hoping to regroup and call for military support. But one thing is clear. No one is answering. The military has turned against him. They take off again toward Târgoviște, hoping to find loyalists. But now, even the skies are dangerous. Radio transmissions say all unauthorized flights will be shot down. They land near a road and flag down a passing car driven by a bicycle mechanic. It's a surreal moment. Two of the most powerful people in the country, hitchhiking. Eventually, they hide in a local agricultural institute, only to be locked in a room by the staff. Ceaușescu's final attempt to escape has failed. The next day, the new government moves fast. On Christmas Day 1989, an emergency military tribunal is convened at a nearby army base. The Ceaușescus are charged with genocide, corruption, undermining the economy, attempting to flee with over $1 billion in foreign bank accounts. The trial lasts only a few hours. The Ceaușescu refuses to recognize the court, calling it illegal. Elena screams at the prosecutors. It's chaotic. There's no real defense and no intention to let them live. The verdict, death by firing squad, immediate execution. When they're led out into the cold courtyard, Elena screams and curses the soldiers, while Nicolae, ironically, sings the opening lines of the Internationale, the anthem of global communism. Then, gunfire, dozens of bullets. Ceaușescu's reign ends where it began, in blood and fear. The next day, Romanian state television broadcasts the footage of their bodies lying crumpled against a wall. For decades, Romanians had only seen staged parades and propaganda. Now they saw the end of tyranny, raw and unfiltered. In May 1990, Romania held its first free elections in over 50 years. Over the next decades, it joined NATO, entered the European Union, and began the painful but determined process of rebuilding from dictatorship to democracy. The fall of Nicolae Ceaușescu is one of the most dramatic and chilling moments in modern European history. His entire regime collapsed in less than a week. A dictator who once demanded godlike worship was taken down by the very people he tried to silence. And the world watched it happen, live on TV.